I am Rosalind Cha, and today I will be presenting the result from our research team, the decline of albedo. Well, albedo is the amount of radiation or energy flux that is reflected by a surface, and surface albedo is the amount of radiation that are reflected by the Earth's surface. As you can see on the graph provided by NASA, the albedo is ranged between 0, which means no reflection, to 1, meaning 100% reflection. This graph was produced using data composited over a 16-day period from April 7 to the 22nd, 2002. The graph only shows the albedo up to 0.4, but it's alright. The red part means the albedo there is really high, and the red part is located in desert areas. The red part in Africa is the Sahara Desert. Then look above. The zones near the poles have pretty high reflection as well, but it wasn't specifically shown because no data was provided. But from other data, you can tell that the white parts have really high albedos, since cryospheres, which are solid water particles, meaning ice, have really high albedos. So how does the albedo work? Simple. The Earth system is driven by the sunlight. The sun generates short-wave radiations that enters the Earth, and part of the radiation is reflected while some are absorbed. Most of the radiation are absorbed. Let's take a look at the graph provided by the National Science Digital Library. Starting from the sun, all the energy comes into the Earth, so 100% solar energy comes in. But then, as it passes through the atmosphere, 6% of the energy is reflected back to space by the ozone layer, and meanwhile 16% of the energy gets absorbed by the atmosphere. After the atmosphere, the clouds also takes part in the reflection. Another 20% gets reflected. The cloud absorbs 3% of the energy at the same time. Once the remaining energy keeps traveling down, it'll hit the Earth's surface, and 51% of the energy gets absorbed by ocean and land. Now here comes the albedo. Conduction and rising reflects about 7% of the energy, and 23% of the energy are carried to the clouds and atmosphere by latent heat in water vapor. Remember one important thing. The clouds and atmosphere reflect some incoming energy. Like it comes in, and then this will reflect a certain amount of energy back into space. But then remember, when it goes back out, this also means that some are reflected back down here, and while some passes through. And so, this graph shows how energy enters the Earth and how it goes back to the space. When the amount of sunlight entered is equal to the amount reflected, the Earth is in radiative equilibrium. You have understood what albedo is. Here comes the problem. Our team has collected various data about the current albedo, and we found evidences that proves that the Earth Observatory article was true. The albedo is declining right now. The following are the evidences. The graph on the top provided by NASA shows the Arctic winter sea ice volume from the year 2004 to 2008. The graph shows that the volume of sea ice are decreasing, and the bottom image also shows that the ice thickness between the year 2004 and 2008 had a major change. In 2008, the red has decreased, meaning the ice caps are melting away. Please direct your attention to the image on the top left corner. This image was taken from the National Geographic online slideshow, and it was taken by James Bullock. And he said, the black stuff on the bottom of the lakes is carbon dust and pollution in general, but not from 1 year, but several decades. On a flight over the ice cap, a sky clear day, you can see hundreds of huge lakes with a black spot on the bottom. Please direct your attention to the image on the bottom right corner. This image shows the albedo of Greenland ice sheet throughout the years of 2000 to 2012. And take a look. Each year, during summer, the albedo has continuously declined. The average, which is the black line, has literally dropped off the bottom of the chart. And this means melt. All of these images proves evidence that the albedo is declining, and that the ice caps are melting because of it. And temperature is increasing as well, since the amount of radiation that gets reflected back has decreased. Our team has done some research about the connection between polar snow ice albedos and climate change. Polar snow and ice albedo plays an important role in climate change. Climate changes are caused by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide that increases the temperature. The increase of temperature leads to the melting of ice caps, which causes the decline of albedo, increasing the temperature even more. According to a recent NASA publication, a drop of as little as 100 in Earth's albedo will cause a warming on climate close to the effect of doubling the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And Rebecca Lindsay stated that the balance of incoming and outgoing photons over the whole planet, the net radiated flux, determines Earth's temperature set point. The ability of greenhouse gases to absorb and emit photons is what global warming is all about. Look at the graph created by Robert Simon. The solar energy is large because the sun is hotter, and Earth is smaller since the average temperature of the Earth is only about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. After the research about the decline of albedo, our team has came up with a few recommendations as how to mitigate this effect. So first, we've got to cut down the emission of greenhouse gas. Second of all, we've got to decrease the amount of soot produced. The smoke that the factories are creating is a potential threat to the Earth's albedo. Third of all, we can change all the roofs of buildings into light-colored and higher reflectivity materials like glass. And by putting a layer of reflector boards on roofs may help increase the albedo in urban areas. As you can see, the Earth's albedo is certainly declining, and it plays an important role in climate change. We have to start cutting down greenhouse gas and soot, or else in a few years, the ice caps will melt, posing a great threat to our global climate. And so, sir, this concludes my report about albedo and its decline.